This is genuinely crazy. A former congressional aide was found zip-tied, slashed up, and branded with the phrase Trump whore by three men who supposedly targeted her for being MAGA. Right, except that isn't what happened. So the woman's Natalie Greene. She's a New Jersey woman who formerly worked for Representative Jeff Van Drew. And on July 23rd, a friend of Greene's called 911 saying that three men had attacked them while they were walking a trail in a New Jersey nature preserve. With his friend telling the operator that the men were going after Greene specifically, saying that they knew that she worked for Van Drew and that they were yelling about politics and calling Greene names. And when the police arrived, they found Greene covered in cuts, her hands and feet zip tied together, and there was writing on her torso saying that Van Drew is racist, as well as the Trump whore message. Right, and when she was found, Greene was reportedly crying and screaming through tears that her attackers had a gun and they threatened to shoot her. And then later on, you had Natalie saying to the cops that the men hit her in the head, held her down, used a sharp object to cut her up like that, and wrote the messages that they found on her. Except it turns out none of that is true, right? Because an investigation revealed that 2 days before this so-called attack, Greene actually drove to Pennsylvania and paid an artist specializing in scarification to carve the lines into her shoulders, neck, and face, right? Even drawing up exactly what she was looking for. Also, investigators found the same exact zip ties used on Greene in her own car, and that was also made worse by a zip ties near me Google search from 2 days before being found on her friend's phone. But really, the first thing that made this whole thing start to smell fishy was the conflicting accounts of the attack itself and the perpetrators being given by Greene and her friend when they made it to the hospital. Because it seems like they went through all this work and yet they couldn't get their story straight when talking to the cops. And so now Greene, she's been slapped with one count of conspiracy to convey false statements and hoaxes and one count of making false statements to federal law enforcement, each of which carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.